So we're going to find our first percent change, and it's going to be marked up, and you guys said it's going to be an increase. So we're going to start at 100% plus 50 what? Percent equals. Now I change that percent to a by. Divide by 100, and I get, this number is called the multiplier. So I'm going to circle it so I know I have to come back to it. So I found my marked up percent multiplier. Now I want to find my discounted percent. So I do steps 1 through 3 again. So I start at 100%. And if it's discounted, it's going to be minus. So minus 50%. So 100% minus 50% equals 50%. Then 50% as a decimal is what, Dylan? 0.5. And that is our second multiplier. So I'm going to circle it. Okay? So I've done my percent increase, my percent decrease. Now I'm ready to find the cost of the video game. So originally, the video game was how much money? $20. So I'm going to take the original amount times what? My multipliers. Make sure I include both of them. So 1.5. So when you punch that into your calculator, you end up with. So would the cashier say, "Give me 15"?
No, you say $15.
So you have to make sure you have your dollar sign. So you could write it as just $15. If you want to put the 15.00, you can do that as well. Either way is acceptable. Raise your hand if you had that one right, or a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up if you had that right. Give me in the middle if you had it started and then you just lost track. Give me a thumbs down if you have no idea what this lesson is all about yet. And that's okay. All right.
That's the only one I got right, because that's the only one I did.
Okay, so this next problem is just going to be like the first one. So if you got the first one right, you should come pretty close to getting the second one right, except for you're working with some more difficult numbers. So looking at this automatically, you're probably going to have to do what to your final answer? So round it to the nearest cent. Okay, so we have a sweater that is regularly $34.99, but it's on sale for 33% off. When you get to check it out, or when you get to pay for it, it's going to be taxed at 7.75%. So how much would you end up paying for the sweater? So the first one, 33%, is that an increase or decrease in the price? Okay, and then if it's taxed at 7.75%, is that going to be an increase in the price or a decrease? Increase, yeah. If you're getting taxed, they're adding more money. So how many multipliers am I going to end up with? 2. You're going to end up with 2 multipliers. So we're going to start at 100%. So my first increase is what? So 33%. Because they marked the sweater. Oh, no, guys, I lied. And no one caught me.
What?
The decimal goes first.
No. Somebody catch my lie.
Oh, the thing is not supposed to be.
No.
It's supposed to be a minus.
It's supposed to be a minus. Why?
Because it says on.
Yeah. Put a +2 on yours. Sorry, guys. Well, I guess it shows me how much y'all listen to me ramble on. Okay, so minus 33%. Sorry, it's on discount for 33%. My apologies. So 100 minus 33% equals, so what's 100% minus 33%? 67%. Divide by 100 to get our decimal. I underlined my percent changes. It's just a visual. I'm a very visual person. I like my information that I need, the information that's important to be underlined. Okay, so now we had our decrease. So now we're going to work with our increase, because if it's taxed, it's going to be an increase in the price. So I do my steps 1 through 3 over again. So Kristen, if I'm repeating steps 1 through 3 again to find my tax increase, what number do I start with? So step 1, what do I always start with? 100%. Okay? The sweater is being taxed at 7.75%. So am I going to add that or subtract that? Kristen? So I'm going to add it. Brunel, when I add these two numbers together, what do I get?
Oh, no, 7.75.
7.5. Don't forget the percent sign. Now what do I have to do with this percent, Brunel? Because you're going to change it to a decimal. Even though there's a decimal in it, we have to drop the percent sign. So then if I divide by 100, what do I end up with my new multiplier? Anyone? Yeah.
25.
No.
1.0775.
Wrong.
Good.
10771.
So if you move the decimal twice, 1, 2, you'll end up with 1.0775.
Ooh, I got it.
You didn't type in a 5. You typed in a 0 behind the 7. Would be my guess. You must have typed something incorrectly. You said you got 2?
No,
Okay.
for the last one.
Okay, so then we start at our original amount. So what's the price of the sweater currently before all the increase, decrease?
$34.99.
35.
So $34.99. Now I'm going to take that original amount and do what with it?
Times it by 0.76 and
How about 6, 7?
6, 7. Oh yeah, sorry.
Hey, we all make mistakes.
1.0775.
So we all make mistakes, right? I just did. Okay, so in your calculator, I want to see everybody type this in. $34.99 times 67.67 times 1.0775.
Back in your history on this, is there a way?
So I need you to multiply these all out into your calculator. 24.53.
82. And 30.
25.
I got
Yeah,
25.
I think some people are getting some other.
26.
Yeah, no,
So 25 point-
25.260155.
Everybody's getting all kinds of different things.
I
So
got
me,
25.
Nico, and Zach.
There was a
same
6
number.
in there somewhere.
There is not a 6.
Yeah,
There is a 6. Is that it?
yep, there is a 6. That's all right.
Ha!
I just said there was a 6.
Oh, don't touch that. I'm not done with that
I
yet.
think it was a 6.
Hold up, let me
I think it says
I was gonna say 12.
So eat it.
Hey, guys, be respectful to one another. Okay, now, looking at this number, the sales clerk isn't going to say you owe me $25 and .260155. So we're going to have to round it to the nearest cent. Which number
6.
is in my hundred spot?
6.
The 6. So I'm going to underline the 6. I'm going to look to the right. Is the number next to it 5 or greater?
No.
No. If the answer is no, then what happens to that 6?
Stay the same.
It stays the same and everything behind it gets dropped. So the cost of this sweater is
$25.26.
$25.26. Okay. Once you have that completed, flip your opener over. This is going to be a quick review of converting. So we're going to convert a percent to a fraction and then a fraction to a percent. All right. So we have 5%. I want to change that percent to a fraction. What does percent mean? Darren, say it every time. What does percent mean? What's percent mean? It's always... No, come on, your key phrase. You say for me every time. Percent is out of 100. So if it's out of 100, what's my bottom number going to be? 100. What's the bottom number of a fraction called?
Denominator.
Denominator. So what's my top number going to be?
5.
5. And what's the top number called? Numerator. Am I finished with this fraction?
No.
Why?
Because you didn't put your 5.
Because I have to reduce, and I'm reducing by 5s. So whatever I divide the top by, I divide the bottom by. 5 divided by 5, 100 divided by 5,
20.
20. Nice. Okay, moving right along. You guys did great on this yesterday on the opener when you changed a fraction to a percent. Now the directions say when we change that fraction to percent, we're going to round it to the nearest hundredth of a percent. So the first thing, I need to change that fraction to a
0.7.
decimal. So how do I change a fraction to a decimal?
5
Divide 5 by 7, then times by 1.
Zach, I didn't ask that next question yet, did I? I just asked how to change it to a decimal. Please don't work ahead of me, because when you guys start spouting out a bunch of information, it confuses other people that are trying to get the steps down. So we changed a fraction to a decimal by dividing the numerator divided by the denominator. That will end up giving us a decimal. So now I need to change the decimal to a percent. Now, Zach, how do I change that decimal to a percent?
Times by 100.
Times 100. So in your calculators, if you take 5 divided by 7 times 100, what do you end up with?
7.42857.
771.42857.
Okay? So 7. Well, we've had some incorrect answers today.
Right, I thought you said 72. I'm like,
Got to.
All right. Which digit, so if I'm rounding to the nearest hundredth of a percent, which digit is in my hundredth place value?
The 8.
2.
The 2 is in my hundredth place value. I'm going to use that number right next to it to determine if I'm going to round that 2 up or if I'm going to leave it alone. Is the number directly next to my 2 5 or greater? Yes or no? If the answer is yes, what happens to the 2? It rounds up to a 3. So my answer is going to be 71.43%. Box it.